Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this card gift box that's sized to fit anywhere from 8 to 12 A2 sized cards, which are the standard sized cards. Now, I didn't make matching cards yet at the time of filming, but I just wanted to show you. Inside this box, I've got 8 envelopes and 8 cards, and these have quite a few layers and some embellishments. It's a great size box. It's 1 inch deep by 4.5 inches wide by 5 7/8 inches tall, and the lid is designed to fit right over the base. Both the base and the lid are double reinforced, and it's just a really nice gift box to give. Now, at the time this video posts, there's going to be 1 day left to get this Woven Threads Designer Series paper free with a $50 purchase, as well as the Wild Rose dies, which can be free with a $100 purchase. And again, these are only available for free with purchase through March 31st of 2020. But I just love the way these turned out. We're going to do even a third different colorway today, and I'm going to show you how easy this is to make. So let's go ahead and get started. For the box base, I'm going to start with a piece of purple posy cardstock that measures 8.5 inches by 9 7/8 inches. And on this piece, we're going to score it at 1 inch and 2 inches on all sides. Like so. For the box lid, I've got a piece of purple posy cardstock, and this measures 7 1/16 plus just a little bit by 8 7/16 plus just a little bit. Again, I'm just going just past 7 1/16 by 8 7/16. And on this piece, we're going to score this at 5/8 and 1 1/4 on all sides. Like so. Okay, starting with the box base, I'm first going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. All right, now here's the template for reference. With the cardstock in portrait mode, I'm going to cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at the second horizontal score line. Now we are essentially moving the 3 squares in each corner. So I'm going to turn it sideways. I'm going to miter this slightly and remove these 2 squares. Then I'm going to come in and remove the 1 square here. So what we're left with is this little tab. I've mitered this little section here. Then I'm going to come in and miter the tab. And the general rule of thumb is that any pieces of cardstock that you're folding into the box, you're going to want to miter those. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Remove the 2 squares. And then the 1 square. Come in and miter the tab. And then this section right here is going to fold into the box, so we're going to come in and miter or notch those as well. Like so. So I'm going to turn it 180 degrees and repeat the same thing. Like so. Now this template is 95% of scale, so this is going to look a little bit bigger, but that's what you want your piece to look like. Next, I'm going to grab some tear and tape, and I'm going to run that right along the edge of these side pieces. Your piece looks like that. Let's go ahead and burnish those in, and I actually like to remove those before I put the box together. And I love using the Take Your Pick tool for that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and adhere each of these 4 tabs using liquid glue. And we're going to line up this score line with this cut edge to form our box corner. Then we're just going to work our way around to all 4 tabs. All right, now that those tabs are all adhered, we can fold these layers into the box, and that's going to give us a really nice double reinforced box edges. And the last thing I like to do is with my bone folder, I'll just come in and reinforce those and make them nice and crisp. And there we have our double reinforced box base. I love how this looks. We're going to do a very similar thing to the lid. It's just different dimensions. So first I'm going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Here's the template for reference. Again, I've got this in portrait mode. I'm going to cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at the second horizontal. And then we're going to turn into quarter turn. I'm going to remove these two squares, also mitering in this little side here. Then remove this one square. So we're left with this loose tab here. Come in and notch that. Repeat the same thing over here on this side. And then notch in this section as well. This side is done. I'm going to turn it 180 and repeat the same thing on the other side. And there, our box lid is done. So again, I'm going to run tear and tape right up to that outside edge. All right, now before we pull the backing off that tear and tape, we're actually going to adhere our designer series paper and cardstock layers to the lid. It's much easier to do that first before putting the box together. So I've got one piece of terracotta tile, and this measures 4 1/4 by 5 5/8. I have a piece of whisper white that measures 4 1/8 by 5 1/2. And then I have a piece of the woven threads designer series paper that measures 4 inches by 5 3/8. I'm going to layer all three of these together and glue them to the lid of the box using liquid glue. Now that that's done, we can put our box together. Again, I like to remove the backing first. It's much easier to do it before we put the lid together. And now we can work on each of the tabs. So I'm just going to start one tab at a time. Apply glue to the tab, and then we're going to line up this score line with this cut edge to form the lid corner. Then I'm just going to work my way around to the remaining 3 tabs. Now that the tabs are folded in, we can go ahead and fold in our overlapping cardstock here. And then again, I like to come in with my bone folder and reinforce those edges. And there is our box lid. Let's bring in the box base, and we'll put in our 8 to 12 cards, depending on how many embellishments and layers we have. And then that lid's gonna fit perfectly over the box base. Let's go ahead and decorate the lid. I've cut out 2 pieces from the Wild Rose dies. Again, these are free with a $100 purchase through March 31st of 2020. I cut one piece out of terracotta tile and another piece out of whisper white. Bringing in my paper trimmer, we're actually going to cut off some of this whisper white piece. I'm going to line up that flat edge and then this little corner section here with the 1/4 inch line on the cutter. Then I'm going to rotate it and do the same thing, lining up that corner with the 1/4 inch line, and also eyeballing it to make sure that this edge looks to be lined up with that line. So then we end up with a piece like this. Then using the Woven Heirloom stamp, which coordinates with the Woven Threads Designer Series paper, we're going to stamp the sentiment "Thinking of You" in terracotta tile. Just like that. Then I'm going to use my liquid glue and we'll adhere this in place on the terracotta tile piece. Makes it real easy to line up. And not to smear the ink, I'll just flip this over to press into place, like so. Then I'm going to grab our linen thread and we're going to wrap this around the base of our sentiment piece. We're going to wrap that around twice, so once, twice, and then I'm going to go ahead and tie a bow. If you need an extra hand, you can grab one of these reversible tweezers, and we'll see if I can't hold on to that to keep it in place while I tie the bow here. Works great as a third hand. And we can pull those out of the way and then zhuzh our little bow here. Trim the ends. Then I'm going to grab a mini glue dot and my take your pick tool. I'm going to fold a glue dot back on itself. So we have kind of a little tiny glue dot there. And I'm just going to hide that underneath the bow's knot. Keep that ribbon in place. And I'm going to show you another trick to keep this all in place. Let's grab some dimensionals. I'm just going to grab 2 dimensionals and place those right over the linen thread on the back, and that's going to serve as both dimension and keeping that in place. Then we can layer this on the front of our box. And then just for some added bling, I'm just going to pick up one of the 2019 to 2021 in color faceted dots. Let's grab this purple posy one here. We'll just put that off to the side. And there is our Woven Threads card gift box, perfectly sized for A2 cards. We've got it in 3 different colorways, and I just love the way this turned out. How great would it be to give a gift set of cards to a loved one or a neighbor? You could even make really pretty personalized stationery, and it just would be such a treasured gift. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and the pictures of the templates. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe to receive my blog updates via email, and you'll get an email each time I publish a new post. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, the starter kit is the ultimate bundle, and it's a great way to get your wish lists for less. I'd love to welcome you to my team of Paper Pixies in the Stampin' Up! Family, and you can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like a complimentary copy of one of our catalogs, you can order catalogs through me at thepaperpixie.com/catalogs. And if you give this project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.